It was a fail on the part of the registry, and since that happened, there's been a real deep dive going on with the registry.
Breaking news on this Monday. If you have a Massachusetts driver's license, it'll soon be checked for violations by the Registry of Motor Vehicles. 500 drivers have been suspended in the last 5 days. I'm Dave Mattson.
And I'm Beth Ward. It's part of what officials are calling an unprecedented check of all driver's licenses to ensure no one with serious out-of-state violations is legally allowed behind the wheel.
Now, this move all stemming from that June 21st trailer crash in New Hampshire where 7 motorcyclists died. The driver of that trailer had been arrested for drunk driving in Connecticut last month and should have had his commercial license revoked before that crash happened.
Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us in studio to break down some of the other findings from the RMV. Audrey?
Dave and Beth, the RMV's review began shortly after the director of the agency submitted a resignation last week. And what started as an internal review process for commercial driver's licenses spiraled into an unsettling discovery and a system in place to check all 5.2 million driver's licenses in Massachusetts.
The acting registrar provided me with the first preliminary report.
Transportation Secretary Stephanie Pollock tasked with the difficult duty of revealing 2 major missteps at the Registry of Motor Vehicles. First, that 23-year-old Volodymyr Zukovsky of West Springfield should have never been allowed to drive on June 21st, the day his truck crashed into a group of motorcyclists in New Hampshire, killing 7 of them.
Ordering an in-depth review of the registry's state-to-state data sharing processes.
And also that a failure in their automated and manual violation review system could have allowed a similar tragedy to occur elsewhere. When Zukovsky's refusal to submit to a chemical test in Connecticut didn't register with Massachusetts' automated system, it got kicked out, but was never manually reviewed. Neither were 300 other CDL violation notices left piling up at the RMV, an internal review found.
They went through the queue of notifications that had accumulated because no registry employees had been tasked with the job of monitoring that queue. None of the notices, other than the one that concerned Mr. Zukovsky, would have required the suspension of a commercial driver's license.
Though the automated system has been recoded and a manual reviewer assigned, Pollock went on to explain that the problems of the RMV extend beyond the records of CDL holders, but to regular drivers who receive a violation out of state as well.
The paper documents, through a series of changes in who was responsible, are not being processed. We discovered a group of unprocessed out-of-state notifications dating back to March of 2018.
In the last 5 days, Pollock assures swift action has been taken from the previously untouched reports sent back to the Bay State from all around the country.
Over 600 suspension actions have been taken involving over 500 unique drivers. This involves all of the identified notifications that concerned alcohol-related offenses.
Pollock says employees are working around the clock on non-alcohol related offenses. But the governor acknowledged to Western Mass News earlier in the day that these fixes are coming too late for some.
But this is a real stain on the processes and procedures at the registry, no question about that.
Are there any plans for an internal investigation? Coming up on Western Mass News later at 6, we'll have a closer look at some of the fixes the RMV is working to implement. Plus, Congressman Richard Neal responds to the tragedy that sparked this internal review. Reporting live in studio, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.